Now let's see if it works this time. I'm gonna do. I had taken a nap. It was so hot. I went grocery shopping today, and I'm doing my tea, mint tea, out in the front. These are one of the things that we're calling a weed. I am going to fix the yard up as best as I can. It's just that I came home today and I wasn't going to walk, but like on my side street over here, it's all shade. So I met like Ron. He was supposed to run to the store for me, but he was already walking, and it was like trying to get back before it got too hot. But anyway, so because I wanted to see what was, I didn't want to go check on my back the house on Gillis by myself with that crazy fool there. So so he just walked out. He just walked straight down King and met me halfway between right on the corner, but just past the corner a little bit, so it doesn't look like I'm looking at that house. But anyway, they were getting ready to mow some of my other lot from Gillis. But it's one thing about that guy that's squatting there, he mowed the grass. His yard looks better. So, but anyway, they got a new guy that does it. He seems very nice. But anyway, so my other, where the squatter is, the guy that used to take me to the store, he died. But the other guy that was taking me to the store, he has a broncho infection. And he's like 80. Both of them were old anyway. So James Earl brought me, my cousin, and he had to go pick up somebody to take him first to work. I went over to their house. I knocked on the door. Like they already made arrangements, so we hadn't really been talking. It was just like some misunderstanding. But Rob had called with him on like the other line, and for me to make arrangements for me to get some groceries, things. I really needed some too, and so we went through. We picked up the young lady to take her to work. We drove through South Haven, and he was telling me, you do not want to get pulled over in South Haven. They pull you over for a regular traffic ticket. They just take you to jail, in your car to jail. You got to make sure you have tags and insurance and all that. But a lot of it is they're so poor here that, and you really to keep your job, you can't depend on the bus. So that's why he's helping her out. She works at Sonic. She came out and brought us a nice cool drink, which I needed. Not very refreshing drinks they have there. Anyway, so I was thinking that it was mostly this area, but to find out, well, I knew that the policing have a training fraud. You could really, I think it's very prevalent in that pool party that it had. I saw that guy do I don't know what. I used to teach in when I was in the library. When I was teaching in the library, I get it was a little primary school up in Mississippi, and Holly Springs, Mississippi, and I get 360 kids. Now sometimes they would go out of order. I wouldn't start snatching and grabbing or hitting. I remember one time, and it was a lot of my fault because I had lost. Holly Springs was a very weird place for me, a very culture shock, and it's funny because you go into a town and you don't necessarily have a habit to speak, but the drugs was overrun in that little community. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm picking up leaves off my computer. I'm trying to fill up this whole jar. If you look, I ended up, I just harvested and dried from my mint. So anyway, the children were so bright and so needing more information, but they just weren't getting it. And I remember one time, the pre-kindergartners, and they were absolutely right to have a little fit because I had been marching and I forgot to have a march that morning, So they had a fit and they threw the books. But what disturbed me is they didn't find out what was disturbing the kids. They just, like, and the principal's like, why aren't you crying? And I'm looking at her, and I couldn't understand why would she cry? Until I started living here, and I've seen people cry a lot over stuff that, I'm not going to cry over those children's behavior. It would have been a good time to let them vent and found out, but, they believe in hitting here, because usually at that age, even though it doesn't even matter if you don't understand what they say, usually after they say something, and then you just ask them, well, what would you like to be, done? They're not gonna be like a crazy, like, yeah, as a 7-year-old or 8-year-old. So what would you like to happen? What do you need to stop you from crying? And they got to answer, and usually they're very content. Once you get them like whatever, and then they forget, they go about their business. Oh, we got some other leaves in here. But I noticed after seeing that I'm glad after seeing that film with that pool party. I don't know what was wrong with that guy. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like the type of guy that you probably like, okay, he's a little kooky, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but you don't want him ever to be around. He had no idea how to handle teenagers. Teenagers are a lot easier than they're a lot easier if you don't get excited. I wouldn't teach with teenage boys. I went to I can't teach teenagers because most of the ones around here already they have a certain opinion of females, and then like in the school system lately, there's been a lot of these teachers that's living up to this male propaganda illusion that I find exhausting to even try to keep up with. How like the way the sex I don't know. But anyway, so across the board we really do have a problem. Oh, I shouldn't have probably played with my hair and then do my food, right? Nobody else is gonna drink my tea. So as long as I don't accidentally put poison ivy. What a mess. They're almost full. So, there we go. Punched out. Smells minty. So I think that really, if we could, we could fix everything with just changing our attitude towards how we go about fixing our problems. I think that right now, the way we're fixing our solutions is causing more harm and damage to the community than not. Something like, oh, I forgot I twisted this. I'll be twisting my hair while I'm asleep. But anyway, I'm not sleepy, but getting ready to go to sleep. So, if, you know what I mean, it's like, my cousin Regina was lived here. She was a social worker. And I remember she was about that tough love, and I guess she was telling me all about that, and I really got tired of hearing it, and I really wanted her to think about what she was saying, so instead I was like, oh, you're so smart. Because she's just like word from word right out of the fucking book. Right? And I was like, well, it was like the introduction to some social, anyway, to the social book that she went on. But anyway, so later on, my other lady, her mom, that was her only daughter, she's like, why do you tell her she's so smart? I'm like, I just wanted, because it just stopped her from talking, and she was all grimacing, and and she forgot all about it. She was like, I was like, good, let her go. And her mom was like, she's an educated fool. She had went to Memphis, she went to school here. She graduated, I guess, college in Memphis, Tennessee or something. But, and then they didn't really do good by her, because she never was able to get her license to teach, could never pass that teacher's exam. So, in some ways, the really intelligent kids get lost at the waistline, and the ones that are able to like sort of like I hate to say that, sort of a con artist, a manipulate, their child does better, even though they still are not giving these children enough information that they need. And that's why you have policemen that behave like at that pool party, you know. And once they get over a certain age in adulthood, it is hard to next to impossible for them to even try to change such negative behavior. And because they usually surround themselves around like people, you know, either in their church or, like in his case, the police. But like it looked like those other policemen probably didn't like him. So I don't know what his problem is. But as fast, you know, it's like I don't know why he pulled his gun out. That was the craziest thing. I think he was trying to show, you know, like, I don't know. I think, you know, I guess the kids, there's better ways. Kids are very obedient, and they really want to be sort of seen as the adult too in a lot of those situations. He handled it wrong. They've been handling it wrong all the way. But the problem is overall, you know, we don't need this tough love. That was, you know, that was the thing that I'm just trying to do, the tough love. Doesn't work if you got whooped and chastised as a child. You know, you didn't have, you know, I mean, I'm not saying people that whoop their kids don't love their kids. I'm saying that sometimes kids that get whooped don't feel loved, and that's different. Don't feel wanted. Don't feel like, you know, their parents want to spend time with them, you know, or feel like I aggravate my parents by being around them, you know. These are little subtle, you know, hints that as a child you might have these feelings not understanding, you know. If you don't have enough information given to you before, you know, because I used to dismiss some of the children's behavior just as they just haven't been in the world long enough. They just didn't know. Where I noticed, like, some of the other, like, teachers and parents, whatever, they would just get outright. Now, with grown-ups, I don't have patience. They have patience for grown-ups. I'm like, this grown-up has enough time that they should know right from wrong, and if they don't know right from wrong, you know, I don't want to waste my time. But we do need to retrain and gain back some of our trust in that our children are going to be excellent people if we're excellent with them. And as long as we have a school system that is not meeting our children's needs, and I'm only speaking from my own experience, that I saw that the children were not getting enough information, and when they weren't getting enough information, the behavior they call bad behavior, you know, I called it frustrated because they needed that information, and then they just totally, you know, like in Mississippi, like, if they go to the principal, they could get hit. I don't know how they hit them, but anyway, so, like, you miss out on an opportunity to find out what's really bothering this child. Maybe it's something that really needs to be addressed. Maybe it's bullying. Maybe it's some type of, maybe the babysitter is bringing a boyfriend over. Maybe they're being hit by the older brothers and sisters, or maybe there's an uncle that's a little bit too friendly. But you know what I'm saying? They act, when their behavior gets to where they're not acting appropriate, it's because something that's not appropriate is happening to them, or what they are learning at that age is not appropriate. So, you know, that's the only reason why I have really totally against hitting, because it stifles their growth. And, you know, I'm not one to say that it's good gossip. I'm looking for the lid. But it's good gossip, too. You know, I mean, not that, you know, you don't have to spread it around, but you can find out a lot about what's really going on in these kids, because most of these children their parents talked around them like the way they need to talk around grown-ups. Anyway, we definitely need to fix her schools. And you can also see the the eating habits that the kids have. Like the nice little girl, she tried to like I had a hot flash. She wanted to give me Sprite. I don't drink Sprite; it has too much salt in it. And anyway, when I have a hot flash, I just like a nice cool drink, like water. That's what I call a cool drink, ice water, which I still haven't got ice trays. But yeah. So I got me a. But she brought, she tried. You have to. I find like over there in that area that where they had a heavy police over here in South Haven, or she was a very nice person. They're very nice, but the situation and how they're being treated and the oppressed that they have to go through. And then also being a woman, you have an extra type of people expect that you're more that you're ready, that you want to be a prostitute, or you're the beck of call of a man, or you're looking for a man, or you know what I'm saying. I don't do no dating sites. I don't even like stuff like that where they go on the dating site. I don't like none where I don't really get to sit down and talk to you first. It's like just because like a person sits down and talks to you doesn't mean anything. It just means they don't like if you want to talk to them. It just means like if they start asking you questions, or because they don't know who you are, and like around here, a lot of people don't like to answer questions because like people come back to you like, oh, it haven't happened to me. They're like, oh, well, you did this and you did that, and I'll look at them like, yes, I did. I sure did. And I notice after a while they're telling me this because like it's supposed to upset me that they know I did that. But hey, I didn't get whooped for my shit. I did as a child, so I don't have a problem. Hey, I did the damn thing. And usually I'm like, it's it only sounds nasty now the way you're saying it. You know what I'm saying? And I just put that on that person. They trying to put that on me. But you get that so much being a female where people want to make you responsible for other people's actions. That's part of like the culture we have. Well, unless shoes ain't underneath your bed, so you know what I'm saying? I can't be, you know what I'm saying? But I just look at them, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not responsible for the action. They look at you like, what do you mean? I'm like, whatever. So so we have a mentality of we want to blame the victim, or we want to our solutions are making more harm. A lot of impulsive, narcissistic type of double-binding hypocrite solutions. Instead of getting down to the base and getting down to the real issue. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes there's root rot. It's not all about what's at the top, as you can see, and it's not all about you're right, or they're right. Sometimes society is framed in such a way that it is causing people to respond. It's like in a way like in a war zone. They never see another way out of war. Their whole mind is on war. They can't comprehend like ever not being a war. Like I'm imagining that's how it is in the Middle East. Over here, I can't imagine how it is for them. But there are some people here that think they've never been in the Middle East. They know all about the Middle East, and you can't tell them nothing about it. And they can find people and stuff on the internet that will make that go along with them. But sometimes and I've done this a lot of. I thought I was going to have one outcome, and had another outcome from it. Especially like sometimes in cooking, you make little happy mistakes. So it's not like, so like I'm geared to where like a mistake could be positive, where like a mistake or somebody repeating something like I said on the internet, like they try to point out, make something out of it. You know, just check that person out that's doing that, and you can find that there's other issues stemming from why they're like that, and a lot of times has absolutely nothing to do with you. So anyway, so just think, we do need to change our behavior to where how we see our children, because you have to think, who's going to take care of you in your old age? Are they getting are these children getting good education? Were you happy with your job that you have now? Is there something you could give to your child in the way of wisdom, so they won't have to learn it the hard way, you know, and then that'll give them an advantage? Well, anyway, our police department is causing more harm than it is doing good. Simple fact. Good night. Or good morning.